So I'm back for another video. I've actually got some stuff I really want to talk about today. If you've been following the blog, you'll have seen that I've done a lot of stuff recently on Instagram and on being a young researcher. And I did my recent experiment with selfies and authenticity in the self, which was actually a really fun project to do. And I enjoyed kind of bringing myself a little more into the research. But today we're kind of going back to, the more traditional stuff. I'm going to talk about the key influences that are going to be used in my readings, and I'm going to talk about some of the books that I've got out and some of the papers that I've read recently, and just the stuff that I've been looking at to start getting this research project really off the ground. So the first thing I want to talk about is my method of reading a research journal or paper, because obviously you want to remember what you've read. So what I do is, and I have two of them here, I have notebooks and I colour code them so they're pink because I have colour codes for all my modules. And I have these notebooks and I'll kind of show you how it works. So, and these are both almost filled with all the stuff I've been reading. And what I do is I go through, where's a good example, and I kind of highlight and write the name, and I give it all proper referencing so that when I'm going back to write my essay, I've got quotes already to use, and I write notes under them to say what is a good quote, and if there are other authors I need to look up, everything's in there. And like I say, I've already filled two of these with just papers and like scribbly notes, so I'm gonna have to get another one. But yeah, the reading's obviously going well if I filled two of these already. Most recent paper I read was Riley Evans and, oh bless her, I can't remember the other name. It was a 2016 paper, which is all about the post-feminist gaze, and that was really, really interesting to look at with regards to my work, because obviously the post-feminist gaze is really going to come into femininity and post-feminism online. So that's kind of how I do my readings, and obviously I'll probably fill up at least another one of these, if not two, by the time it gets to the dissertation hand-in September. But on a more kind of general note, just put those out of the way, I'm going to talk about some of the authors who really influenced me lately and who are going to be really central to kind of shaping my methodology and shaping how the dissertation kind of ends up looking. So I'm kind of just going to list them off now. You probably won't know them. If you do, then you've got great taste in reading. But so Rosalind Gill, also with her work with Christina Scharf in their book New Femininities, really influential to this work. Amy Shields Dobson and all her work on post-feminism online is just, it's like what I want to write, but she's already got there. Shelley Budgeon and all her work on femininity and identity and embodiment, absolutely fantastic, really crucial work to what I'm going to be looking at. Stewart and Donahue wrote an amazing paper. Well, it wasn't amazing. It was useful on choices of femininity and how women use makeup and stuff, which was obviously again really central to what I'm going to be doing. And then Aaron Hess wrote a really good paper called The Selfie Assemblage, which was an amazing way of looking at selfies in a kind of Deleuze and Guattari way. Deleuze and Guattari, I am going to be drawing on them for the dissertation when it comes to assemblages, because I'm looking at that whole, how everything kind of networks together online. Probably drawing on a little bit of new materialism there. And then I've also written down Foucault, because you can't write a dissertation without Foucault. Discourses of power, Western hegemony is going to be obviously a really central part of this and how it shapes femininity and things like that. So obviously we need to talk about discourses of power and how bodies and things are perceived in the online space. And then the last one I've kind of written down is Anthony Giddens and his work on modernity, and I think it's Self-Identity is the book. But his work on how modernity is changing the way we perceive ourselves, how it's changing the way we kind of put ourselves out there, is really, really important to that. And I've also got a book here, if I can get the right one. This is by Nicholas Rose. It's all backwards, but it's called Governing the Soul, Shaping of the Private Self. Now I'm going to be drawing on that because we're looking at, well, I'm looking at you know, the private, the online, the offline, how we kind of perceive our identities and all this kind of stuff. So that's really important. I've also got Susan Bordeaux, her 1993 work, Unbearable Weight. It is a little bit old now. I mean, Christ, that book's as old as me. But it's still really important and it's really groundbreaking. I am going to be staying away from some of the stuff she talks about in terms of anorexia and agoraphobia, because I feel like that's a little more extreme than the femininity I'm going to be looking at. But her ideas and her descriptions and discussions on femininity are absolutely fantastic. Obviously, I'm also going to be using Judith Butler and performativity when we're looking at how identity comes to be shaped and formed and practiced, and how, you know, gender and femininity and women and all these kind of huge things I'm just throwing out there right now, but they are all going to be things that are really important. And then kind of going in a slightly different direction, I've actually picked up a work by Rosie Braidotti, which is called Metamorphosis Towards a Materialist Theory of Becoming. Now, materialism is going to make up a big part of this dissertation because obviously we're looking at neoliberalism and post-feminism, which are really tied into consumer identities. You know, the idea that you can consume yourself into being if you just buy enough stuff. Kind of goes back to Sarah Ahmed's work on the promise of happiness, the idea that we're told that the more you buy, the happier you'll be, and it's never true apart from a very, very select few people. And it's again that idea of consuming the self into being. And these are all kind of just like the groundwork. There's obviously loads of other authors I'm going to be drawing on from journals mostly. But this is what kind of makes up the start of where I'm going to be launching from, to an extent, because I'm actually going to be starting writing my plan soon, which is terrifying. It feels like 5 minutes since I started just doing the basic research for this project, but no, it's really exciting. Oh, and the other thing is, I am very pleased to announce that I've actually been accepted into an academic conference to speak about this research on basic bitches. Now, I'm not going to say the name of the conference or where it is or anything, because they haven't officially released anything yet. I just got the email yesterday, so I'm really, really excited. But yeah, it's an amazing opportunity for someone who's not even finished their MA by the time I'm going to be presenting this. And I'm so excited, and I now have to write a conference paper and I have to present it, and I've never done that before with my own research. I've done it with kind of group projects that we've done in the past, but I've never done my own. So this is like a whole new thing, and I'm going to be going there by myself. It's like way, way up north from here, so it's a long way to go. But it's a fantastic, fantastic opportunity, and I'm so excited. Which is kind of like a weird thing to be excited about when you're 22. You're excited about going to a conference, but that's the life of an academic. And yeah, I guess the kind of the way things are going, I'm really pleased with how things are going. I've been kind of getting back on Instagram and gathering pictures and stuff so we can start doing some more analysis. I've been doing a lot more self-reflexive interrogation on myself as well. And I've also been kind of engaging with a few more femininity practices, just to, well, kind of for fun and for my own enjoyment, but also to just make sure that I'm not out of touch with things. You can probably kind of tell I've done my makeup quite heavily today for this video, mainly because I wanted to, and I got some new things at the weekend that I wanted to play with from Selfridges. Again, if you saw my last video, I talked about Selfridges and experiences at the makeup counter there, and I went back and I did some more on that, and I really enjoyed it. It's very much that consumer thing again, and consuming yourself into being, but it was a really fun, nice experience, and it made me feel super feminine, and I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. And yeah, things are just going really well with the research at the moment, and I'm super, super pleased with how things are. I just got to get through the next couple of months, which is all module hand-in and module deadline, but I'm all on top of that, and I'm pleased with how that's going as well. It's all just a case of keeping up over Easter, because I've got a long break at Easter to get things moving. And then it'll be 4 months of writing, which is exciting, and presenting my conference paper. yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here because I've talked for way longer than I thought I would about some books and some papers. But yeah, I hope everyone's well, and I will try and do another research update relatively soon, probably kind of April time when I've had some time to start planning and stuff like that. But yeah, I will speak to you soon. Bye!